Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm here to talk about South Park, the post-COVID. I think that's what it's called, right? And return of COVID. Now, I'm gonna talk about part one and part two. I might not talk about more in depth of it, but there will be some spoilers. So if you haven't watched the episodes, you should leave right now. This might be the last this is the last episode of the final season of the TheSkullKlown season 18. So hope you look forward to this video. So what do you think about the first part of the post pandemic type of thing? It was cool to see the young characters that we grew up, Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny, all grown up. And once I saw Stan being, bummed and all that, with his Alexa and shit like that, I started laughing my ass off. I'm like, you know what? That is Stan. I could see Stan be like that. Sadly, I could see him be like that. If the pandemic in this universe of the South Park universe just kept going, So, and Kyle looks like he's fine. He's doing well for himself. The only thing he doesn't have is a family, and I guess that's a bad thing. I mean, you do find out that his mom and dad are in the old folks' home, and I won't talk about that because that's in part two, and we talk about part two very soon. But part one was actually really good. It was hyping up with a lot of things and everything like that. It even hyped up Cartman, for crying out loud. Like when you saw this episode, all you wanted to think was like, what does Cartman look like? What does he look like in this episode? What does he look like when he's older? I want to know. I want to know. And first, the story is basically that Kenny, I believe, is trying to basically get his friends back. Because all of them were dicks when the pandemic first started. That's basically the whole story from part one and two. And the things ensue. South Park and shit like that. So again, I'm not going to go too deep spoilers, but there are some stuff that I will be spoiling, and there might be pretty out there and pretty be like, why did you tell me that? So if you haven't watched it, please leave it. Good thing I set that in 2 minutes in instead of like 20 minutes in or 5 minutes in. But moving on, I thought Kenny's design looked awesome, and it was so funny that I was like, Kenny was so smart and so talented that we didn't even hear what he was saying. I was like, yep. Yep. And you know what? The thing is, I thought different aspects of where these characters could be when they get older. Like, for example, some people pointed out that wouldn't it be cool if Kenny was like brought the Mysterion character back, like he was just trying to stop his friends, but being like Batman or something like that. Even though he was rich, but being like Batman. And you know what? Something like that, I could see. But that's why we're done with the character with Kenny. That's what I would have done if I make the show, but I'm not the creator, or the creators of the show. So that's fine. I'm not saying what they did with these 2 episodes are bad. I'm just taking these out and stuff like that. Magnets in a crystal. But so let's talk about one thing that a lot of people want to be talking about. The part when I think Kaya, I believe, or Stan, brings out one with another, and they're like, he's here. They're like, what, Cartman? And I'm just like, oh, here it is. He's a Jew. I could not stop fucking laughing my fucking ass off. And then when I saw him with a family, I'm just like, oh, he has a family. This motherfucker got a fucking family? You mean to tell me in the back timeline he has a family and his other friends don't? They lost everything, but he didn't? The fuck? The fuck? Like, I was just, while the episode was progressing, I was just thinking that in my head and shit like that. And then Cartman coming back and everything like that, like, he's all, he's a different type of Cartman in a way. And then you slowly start getting him coming back. Mainly because he starts hanging out with his friends again. I mean, Stan and Kyle, and even his wife even was like, hey, even his wife was like, hey, all of this started ever since we went to South Park, and ever since you, ever since you're right next to fucking Kyle, you act this way. You never, and this is not the man that I met. This is not the man that I love, basically. And then he gets his kids to hate Uncle Kyle, to hate Kyle, and then you see Cartman be like, basically like that. And don't tell me that he wasn't like that when automatically when he has his family up in the attic and his fucking daughter is making a fucking letter like a Helen Keller type shit. Not even Helen Keller type shit, but like a fucking like some type of shit of like a Holocaust type shit, literally. Of like, oh, I'm writing everything down to what Uncle Kyle's doing. And then Cartman's just like sobbing and crying. He's like, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm like, this motherfucker's lying to his family. This motherfucker is disrespecting his own family. And the fact that no one has to point this out kind of upsets me. Why? Because this is a character. This is Cartman, guys. Eric fucking Cartman. The guy that has literally made his own brother ate his own parents. The guy that has literally fought. The guy that has literally got kicked his ass, that got kicked, that got his ass beaten by Kyle and what is it, Wendy and a midget. This is a character that if he does something bad, you want him to get his comeuppance. Now, some episodes he doesn't, And the thing is, the reason that happens is because in some episodes, there's other characters that deserve their comeuppance, and you're like, oh, I want Cartman to get this motherfucker. And Cartman sometimes sees that character and be like, oh, I'm getting you. And I'm like, yeah! Like, shit like that. That's what I love about Cartman. Shit like that, I love. And that's why I was kind of suspecting in a way, like, oh, like my friends need me or something like that. So I could probably, since I'm back in South Park, I'm probably using this type of thing that I used to act way. Yeah, I'm still acting like a little bit dickish, and I might argue with Kyle sometimes, but I'm still doing something to bring my friends together with Kenny and all that. And a lot of people might be like, oh, but he was there at the end, helping with his friends and shit like that. Look, this is Cartman, guys. To me, this is my perspective of Cartman. Cartman would do anything he wants as long as he's part of the group, or he can get away with it. Okay? It doesn't matter. This Cartman is a type of person that he's broken so many laws, he's broken so many fucking shit in his fucking lifetime, and that if we even did something like that once in our lifetime, we'd be in jail for the rest of our lifetime. So don't tell me that, oh, I'm going to get to part 2 in a minute. Which, look, all right. Hold on. So before I get to part 2, because I already want to talk about part 2, but let's close this right now. So all of a sudden, you get rumor, you hear speculations of how Kenny made his technology and everything like that, how he got funded and everything like that. Apparently he got funded by Butters. And you're like, Butters? And then he's in a mental hospital, and you're like, wait. Who's in a mental hospital again? And then by the end, all you hear is, oh yeah, Professor Chaos he worked with Kenny, and you're like, Professor Chaos. Then by the end, you literally see Professor Chaos. And I'm like, it's not Professor Chaos, it's Butters. Holy shit, what's happening to Butters? Like, I was suspecting like Butters to like have the Professor Chaos outfit just leaning on the wall, like leaning in the freaking corner or something like that, maybe all dim and dark and dimmed and everything like that, Now I was suspecting, like in part 2, I wasn't suspecting for the main characters to look at Butters to be like, oh my god, he went to the dark side and now it's like a Darth Vader type of thing. No, they didn't went through that route, which I'm glad, and at the same time, I'm not glad that they didn't went through that. But in a way, they still kind of went like Professor Chaos with Butters, because what he did here, this whole thing with I don't know, whatever he's promoting, whatever is it called. To be honest, when I've heard about it, I'm just like, really, this is a new thing that people are talking about. Like, I know the creators of South Park use things from a world that's relevant and shit like that. But the thing that Butter points out, I'm just like, really, this is a thing. This is a real thing. Good thing I just heard about this from this show, because I don't want to hear about this ever fucking again. This shit's fucking stupid as fuck. And thank you for South Park for pointing that out to me. Now, if anyone points that out to me, I'll be like, fuck you, get the fuck out of my face before I fucking throw a rock at you. I'm dead serious. I'll be that violent to somebody. I don't care. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm that type of person that if you try to smell me, I will cut you like a fish. Don't eat like I'm just that type of person that doesn't like to be touched by just regular people. For kind of loud. I don't like my own family being like, you know, I don't even like that. I just don't like people touching me. Like, if I love you, if I want to be with you, then yeah, of course I want you to touch me. But if you just like my friend or something like that, no, don't fucking touch me. Get the fuck away from me. The only way I'm gonna touch you is give you daps, and that's it. Seriously, man. But moving on, that's just another story for another day. But the whole story ends with you seeing Professor Chaos, you know, Butters and shit like that. Then we hit to the new episode, and obviously Coleman is trying to do anything that he can to protect his family, because Kyle and Stan are going to go back in time to, well, stop the whole thing from happening. And Coleman is just like, no, I don't want that. My family won't be around anymore. A lot of people might be like, oh, you know, he's probably just using this as a rules or as a thing and all that, just to, you know, fuck over his friends or something like that. Or maybe he's behind all of this. I thought he was behind all of this. Or I thought Butters was. He's not. And that's fine. But at the same time, I told myself, wouldn't it be more more better if Coleman was behind all of this shit, making sure that, no, I did not want, like, I didn't want Kenny to do all of this, so I killed him anyways, you know, some stupid shit. But, they probably wouldn't do that anyways, and that's fine. Like, I think they didn't want to have Coleman to literally be like, yeah, I killed Kenny. Even though in one episode, he kind of already did for his PSP. Yeah, don't, no. That's my favorite episode, by the way. I love that episode, to be honest. Come on, that episode told you everything. For crying out loud. In even one episode, fucking Coleman is like, is Kyle going to cry? Oh, please make Kyle cry. Come on. You mean to tell me South Park, the town itself, makes Coleman bad? No, Coleman's bad in himself, alright? Seriously. And the people that he hangs out with. Maybe Kyle is a bad influence on Coleman. Maybe they just should not hang out with each other then. How about that? Maybe this show just shows in a good example. Maybe this episode just shows in a good example of Coleman and Kyle should not hang out with each other no matter what. It doesn't matter if they're friends or not. Don't hang out with each other. Point blank and simple. I'm sorry. Ever since when I was a little kid, I told myself that. Stop hanging out with each other. Seriously. If you fucking hate each other, and look, there's another episode where Cartman, and look, I'll get to the end too in more detail part 2, yes. But I want to talk about the whole Cartman stuff, because what's happening with the end and everything like that, with this episode, with the second part. Cartman likes to bother Kyle. And there's one episode where there's one episode when he tries so hard to bring Kyle back to South Park that he tries to do anything possible, and then he doesn't, and then, you know, he comes back and no one doesn't know how he comes back, and Stan is confused, but he looks at Butters and he goes like this. He wants Kyle to be there. And then what do you think? All of a sudden he talks to Kyle and he automatically argues with him, and Kyle's just like, fuck off, and walks away, and he's like, whew. You know, he needs that dynamic. He needs it. He does. He needs it. That's why when the whole thing of him protecting his family and shit, I'm just like, bullshit. I'm sorry, bullshit. I don't believe you. I would never believe you. Even when Cartman is beating the shit out of Kyle, I'm like, oh, he's serious. But I still didn't believe him. Because he's trying to stop something that his friends are trying to do. Even though, yes, he went counteracting and we're like, oh, well, I'm going to help you now. Well, that wouldn't happen if his wife didn't tell him, oh, if you're going to act like that, then we need to give it a chance, basically, you know? If that part did not happen, would you think that the ending that we got was still rightfully so for Cartman? I think it was. Yeah, I said it. I see a lot of people around here being sorry for Cartman. Look, you can feel sorry for this character, but I want to say one thing. Fuck this character. I don't hate the character. For crying out loud, these characters are iconic. I love Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny. I love all those guys. I do. I love the trio of the South Park kids. You know, without them, I wouldn't be getting into South Park to begin with. But I'm telling you this right now. If Cartman was a real life person, and I saw him being homeless, I would have been like, he deserves it. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. He treat everybody like shit, and he expect everyone to not treat him like shit. And then when he has a bad life and a bad ending, we're supposed to fucking feel sorry for him? No, fuck you. No, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not. I'm not. And most people be like, oh, but it's just one of these Christmas episodes and all that shit. Look, I understand what they were trying to do Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know, that was actually smart. But the whole thing, like, look, before I get back to the ending, the whole point with Butters and stuff like that, Butters is just trying to get Stan and Kaya, to join his whatever he's trying to do. Then he escapes, and the guy that is like this crazy doctor in a way, he's like, he escaped. What the fuck? And the fact that Butters is so out there that he can just use a paper to get out of prison says a lot about Butters, and I love that. The fact that Butters got out of prison from a cup says a lot. No, not even a cup, a piece of paper. He folded it into a cup, and he's just like, yeah, just whispering into someone's ear. That to me was Butters. That was perfect. That's exactly what I wanted Butters to be as Professor Chaos. Just the Chaos outfit. That's really it. But he wasn't wearing the Chaos outfit. But he was still Professor Chaos. Just trying to forget that he was Butters and shit like that, Um, and the part when he meets Cartman and in the bathroom and he still pushes his pants down and goes like, Lulu, it's just stupid. That's Butters. He never changed, even though he wanted to change how Butters was to become Professor Chaos, but more different of Chaos. It's like if Butters and Chaos decided to be like, let's just be one, and then it's just this mastermind of craziness that he's just killing people along the way, So, and you did get a reference to other iconic characters like the like Kyle's parents were there. There was a lot of people there, like Mr. Slave and everything like that. Mr. Garrison was there, with Mr. Hat, I think, most likely. And I think Mr. Hat was old too. Yeah, that shit was awesome. I could talk about the pandemic part with the teacher. The whole point of like the show being fucked up and everything like that. Then look, I don't want to talk about that episode. That episode where Mr. Garrison is just like, oh, thank you, pedophiles. I would love to talk about that, but I don't want to talk about it on this channel. Because if I talk about it on this channel, I'm going to rant and be pissed off like a motherfucker. Because that episode, you know what? I'm not even going to fucking say it. Because there's some fucking dumb people around here that don't even want to... No. So moving on. So the whole Butters part was awesome. I loved it. And then when Clyde would literally Cartman sent Clyde to kill Kaya in the past, and I'm just like, you guys. And then you feel sorry for Cartman by the end of the whole fucking episode. Oh, but he redeemed himself by killing Clyde, and then he realized that what he had done. It's Cartman, you dumb motherfuckers. He's not gonna learn his mistakes. He never does. What the fuck's wrong with you? All of you! All of you! Why do you think the creators made him a homeless motherfucker in the end of the episode? Because he never learns! Duh! My God! And I thought this, like, once I saw that, look, I'll say this right now. When I saw Cartman with that Jew outfit, I started laughing my fucking ass off. When I saw him as a homeless man, I cried. Like not cried for feeling sorry for him. I cried as in laughter. I was just like, "Fuck you guys!" Come on, man. You mean to tell me in the bad timeline he gets everything he wants, and then in the good timeline, like, you mean to, in the bad timeline he gets anything he wants, but his friends don't. But in the good timeline, everyone gets what he want. Everyone gets what they get, but Cartman doesn't. To me, that sounds like a satisfying ending. To if this was the last South Park episode and they would never make no more, I would have been like, you know what? No. This is perfect. This is perfect. I would have literally ended the whole series like that. Literally. You mean to tell me Cartman did not have... You mean to tell me Cartman was not going to see this coming? You didn't see this coming for Cartman? Being abandoned? No one not loving him? Seriously, man. Most people are like, but he's a kid. Stop giving excuses. to this type of character. And the thing is, I'm going crazy like he's real. But even if he was real, would you give him the satisfaction? No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Stop saying that you would. No, you fucking wouldn't. All right? No, you wouldn't. You're just saying that because you grew up with this fucking character since you were like in your diapers. Seriously, man. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Be an adult. Don't be a fucking pussy. Seriously. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It's just that once I saw that part, I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't stop laughing. I will admit this. I will admit this. After the episode, that lingering of Cartman being homeless was in my head for months upon months upon months. I mean, not months. Upon days upon days upon days upon months. Upon days upon days upon days. Why? Because I was mixed with it at first when I saw it. You know, because the reason I was mixed is because I was like, I can see why they made him like that. But at the same time, I can see why people would be like, no, he sacrificed himself for everything. But in the back of my head, I'm just like, who cares? Who cares? He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't. You mean to? Do I need to point out everything that this character has done? All right. To be honest, Matt and Trey Parker did perfectly fine on what they did with the Cartman character by the end of this episode. Now, they could keep going with this episode. Who knows? There might be another one of this. You know, most people be like, oh, no, this is just a one-off type of thing. Okay, if it is, if it is. But, look, how many types of endings we got with South Park that could be like, oh, that's the definitive end for South Park? For kind of loud, the movie itself is a perfect ending to the whole series. The fracture, I mean, not the fracture, but the video games all too. You know? Will they ever make a third video game? I think they will. Some people are like, no, they won't. And I'm like, yeah, they will. If people want it and demand it, they will get it. I'm sorry. The fuck's wrong with people? I don't know. People are stupid these days. I'm sorry. Like, this, I don't know. Ever since I became older, my limit with people is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. That's why I don't hang out with people. I don't. I just don't hang out with people. I don't. Seriously. Because some people just rather live in ignorance. And I'm just like, no. If you're going to live in ignorance, I'd rather not know you or live with you. So, so I gave a big fucking rant and speech about how I feel about these two episodes. I thought it was fine. I love the part with Kenny and everything like that. The fact that Kenny got a beard and everything like that, I thought that was great. The fact that Stan Smith, Stan's father, is hilarious. I love Stan's father. Randy's awesome. When Matt and Trey Parker started using Randy for their episodes and stuff like that, I'm just like, I'm definitely gonna love this character because I always wanted this character to be highlighted just a little bit, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit. But the more that he got highlighted, I'm more like, yes, thank you. He's getting his own episodes now. He's getting his own thing. He got his own weed episode, his own pandemic episode, a pandemic special, Randy. What? You don't think it's good? I remember when I saw that trailer, I'm just like, yeah, they would do that. Why wouldn't they? They're South Park, you know. And the whole thing. Look, a lot of people pointed out the whole Blade Runner scene where Randy is just like fake dying and stuff like that. I didn't watch that Blade Runner scene, but I knew that was from Blade Runner, and I knew that he was fake dead, like. And I'm like, and he dies, you know, just making fun of it. And then Stan is like, Dad. He's like, not now, Stan. Shit like that is awesome. Never change. Again, look, I'll have no complaints with these two episodes at all whatsoever. It's just the reason I ranted and all that. It's just that people are so hopped up with the Cartman stuff. And I'm just laughing at all of you. I'm just like, really? What do you want me to say to you that you can feel better about this character that deserved to fall the way he fell? I remember when I first started hearing the complaints and shit like that. Well, with Eric, I'm just like, well, maybe he should have never went to South Park to begin with. Well, then we never would have had that episode. Well, then whose fault is that? It's the creators. Well then, you should have been there and told them, oh no, I don't want that for Cartman. Well, you weren't there, so they decided to do it themselves. So, and again, going back, I don't want to repeat myself, but I do want to say that I think that was just perfect. I think it was. For crying out loud, Butters even said that, hey guys, it's no time to feel sorry for Cartman. It's time to, to me, that was telling the viewers of like, hey, forget about Eric Cartman. He's fucked a lot of people over. All the people that you know from like by the end of these episodes. I mean, by the end of this episode, he fucked a lot of people over from. He fucked a lot of people over. you know, I mean, he didn't fuck a lot of his friends over, but he fucked still them over for kind of loud. In the same episode, he's on the phone with Kaya, and Kaya's like, "What are you doing, fat ass?" Kaya knows what he's gonna do. He's doing what he's trying to do. And a lot of people might see that, Cartman is just using his old type of style to protect his family. And I'm like, I get it. I get it. I get it. But obviously the developers did something in a way different that you can see that he's still a fucking pathetic motherfucker. He's still the same fucking guy that never grew the fuck up. That goes with the rest of these characters except for Kenny. Their past selves. And then when they when they fix themselves, like when the right future is all right, it still shows who they are. Nothing's really changed in a way. The only thing that's changed is them being friends again. But guess what? Cartman didn't care about them being friends again. If that was true, if that wasn't true, why is he homeless at the end of the episode? And he's like, fuck you guys and shit like that. He didn't value the friendship. Oh, but there was episodes where he's like, I love you guys. Yeah, and in some episodes it ends. In other episodes, they look at him like, and he's like, I hate you guys. The reason that Stan and Kyle and Kenny look at Coleman every time he says, oh, I love you guys, and they look at him like that is because, dude, you're lying sack of shit. You just want to get a point. That's how I see Coleman. That's how I always see this character. And if most people might be like, you know what? It's sad that you see this character this way. Why? You think I see this character the way I see him on purpose? No, I see him this way is because the way the characters made him. The way the developers made him. Ever since the first episode, Cartman gets an anal probe. I knew this character was going to go to dark fucking places. And I knew that this character, if he ever became an adult, he would become worse. And he did become worse. Most people be like, oh, he became a fine family. No, he became worse. So did Butters, too. It is cool that when they did change the past, when they did change the future, basically, Kenny was still, he didn't change at all. Like even his past, even with even the part of the other timeline, the bad timeline, he was still good. And then in this timeline, the good timeline, he's still good. So nothing can't touch him. The only time that the bad timeline touched him is when he came back and he died from what? COVID. Oh God. Again, I can go to that conversation for another day because apparently we can't talk about apparently we can't talk about the thing without everyone fucking going crazy. And I saw a YouTube video about that too, which I agree. He's not a brother or anything, but I agree with that person because that person literally pointed out this is not a political thing. This just points out to the South Park thing, and it's true. When South Park literally at the end of the episode of this whole pandemic special and everything, well, the whole return COVID and stuff like that, they literally was like, hey man, just relax, just everyone's going through shit basically. Just say that you're sorry, people are just going through a rough time, basically. And it's just like, yeah. you know. And then the YouTuber, he pointed out that, yeah, and then you get the whole fucking politics type of thing that people want to fight each other again. And I'm just like, whose fault is that? The ignorant motherfuckers that don't want a fucking goddamn law and yet they want to celebrate fucking pagan holidays. That's why I love this episode. These 2 episodes of South Park showed how people are, but also pointing out the finger to the people that are like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you, South Park. Thank you, Matt and Trey Park, for telling people, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shit. you know? Uh, I think that's a moral story for this episode. And so, any way I could probably close this off is that, well, I had fun with the episodes. I did run into it and all that shit. I'm sorry, but I just had to get my feelings out there. I did. Of all the videos I've seen about these 2 episodes, excuse me, and in everything that I'm thinking of and how I felt when I was watching it, I'm just like, I mean, I enjoyed the 2 episodes and stuff like that. Most people might be like, oh, which one's better? Well, the first one is better. I will agree with that. Part 1 is better than the second one. Not to say I don't hate the second one. It's just that the second one, I mean, I don't hate the second one. It's just that number 1 was so hype that was leading up to the second one. So when you saw the second one, it was just like a steam of air coming that you were like, now I get to see part 2. You know, like that. It was like that, you know? So again, you should watch these. Will they ever come out on DVD or something like that? I don't know. I mean, they will most likely be part of the season, right? So thank you for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You look, if you disagree with me of how I felt about the whole Cartman situation, that's fine. That's fine. You can disagree with me all you want. But just know that the way I see Cartman, the way I see Eric fucking Cartman, for crying out loud, where's his mom? He didn't mention nothing about his mother. None of these characters did, actually. We only saw Randy. That's one of the flaws I probably should point out. Actually, yeah, I did want to see more of the parents. Yeah, I know. Stan's mom and sister were dead, which I felt sorry for the mom. The sister, I don't care. I never liked Stan's sister. I never did. And then when you see her in the future, like, smiling but still saying turd, but hanging out with her brother, good looking, I'm just like, now that is a character I've been wanting for a long time. Seriously. She had to grow up so she can just not be a bitch? Really? That's all it takes? But Eric Cartman became a motherfucker all his life. I don't know. I mean, it does show. I guess it just shows the progression of people, real life and shit like that. You know. So tell me what you guys think about these 2 episodes. Do you guys feel sorry for Eric Cartman? I don't. I would never. I would never understand and understand why you feel sorry for him, and I don't want to, because I don't care to be honest. But it is nice to see these 2 episodes, and it was a hell of a ride. It was one hell of a ride, and I think it does deserve to be viewed multiple watches. All right, because it's just that entertaining, that good. And I I am trying to think of one thing before I leave, but I think that's it. So I'll see you guys later. Be safe. And most people might be pissed off at what I said about Kaufman and stuff like that. I don't care. I don't care. That's how I feel. And if you don't like how I felt about this character, then well, that's how Matt and Trey Parker made the character. And all I need to do is react how the character is. So don't blame me if the character is a fucking douchebag and an asshole, and you expect me to feel sorry for him if he becomes fucking stranded and no one doesn't love him. Even Stan was just like Paul Cartman. Like I said before. Paul Cartman, right? And the thing is, once they did fix their whole fucked up future, in a way, I was hoping all of them were together and friends again. I was. I'm not gonna deny that. I love these four characters to be friends and doing adventures and shit like that. I love those episodes. But when you have Stan, and look, again, I'm repeating myself, but when you have Stan looking out the window and looking at Cartman, and Cartman's just saying "fuck you guys" and everything like that, I'm just like, then who's the problem here? It's not the friends, it's Cartman, man. Come on. And yes, there was one episode where Stan and Kyle didn't talk at all, and Kyle and Cartman were hanging out a while and becoming good friends. And when I did saw that episode, I was just like, oh no, this is not it. This is not what I want from South Park, obviously. You know, that whole thing like, everything will change. Probably not. We'll see. You know, that was years ago. Remember that? When Stan started singing everything was just crap? Oh, I remember that. I remember that episode, man. Oh, man. When Stan started becoming older and everything like that, yo. I'm sorry, guys. I had to mention that. But I'll see you guys. That's it. Be safe.